All right, people, how's everybody doing out there today? Happy Saturday. I know, sorry about that, Jess. I just went ahead and started yelling right out of the gate. I'm all excited. We got a full house today. First of all, we got our boy South London James, all the way from South London. James, how you doing today? What's it going on over there? I got my captain's hat on. What are you doing, James?
I'm 5 beers deep. It's England-Norway in 3 hours. Let's fucking go. Come on.
That's what I was gonna say. Are you excited about the old England stream going on here pretty soon? You got
Oh yeah, we're gonna bash that. Your new favourite son, Erling Braut Haaland. We're gonna beat the shit out of that fucking giant. I tell you.
Oh, bro, I don't know. It's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna have to watch it for sure. See what's going on.
Yeah, and then I've got to come on and do Conor McGregor, haven't we? We got to do McGregor.
Yeah. We got to get that McGregor going. Conor McGregor. And then, of course, all the way from the forest to the trees, the queen of femininity. It is our own queen, Forest Mommy. Forest Mommy, how are you doing today, bro? What's going on? Are you having a good day today?
How are you? Yeah, I'm actually. This time I'm not going to be 5 beers deep because Mommy binged this week pretty good since July. So yeah, but cheers, James. Wish I was with you next time.
Yeah, let's
come on. Knock those Coronas back. You know you love it.
Yeah, let's go. We got to get it going on.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed how fast I go through these the citrus ones now. I'm like, I can't buy it. I told Mr. Forstman the other day after he woke up and I was still up drinking those all night. I'm like, I gotta stop
drinking them all night. That's hilarious.
And then he just laughs at me. I'm like, you're such an enabler. You're such an enabler. But yeah. Anyways, next Saturday I'll tie one.
Well, let's go. Next Saturday, tequila. We're gonna have a party, and then finally we have a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Florida. We got her from her backyard. She might be in Home Depot. She might be in Target. You probably saw her face flash up earlier. She's the one and only, the other half of the fantastic duo, the Sulk Stream. We got Jessica. Jess, how are you doing today? So it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I'm doing great, just I'm thinking about asking Sulk to bring me some wine since James is drinking. Are you drinking?
I'm drinking. I had a couple of shots of tequila already. It is 11 o'clock, but I wake up on Saturdays ready to go, ready to have fun.
Then let's do it.
That's right.
Yeah, Sulk will get me some wine.
Yeah, shout out to Sulk over there. Let me go ahead and plug him real quick. We love Sulk around here. We got the incredible Sulk. If you guys don't know, I'm going to pull up his website right now, The Incredible Sulk on Rumble. Go give him a follow. Also give him a follow on X. I believe it's, is it the Sulky on X?
It's Sulkopath.
Hey. Sulkopath. Go give Sulkopath a follow on X. He does a lot of fantastic streams. Yeah, every once in a while you can hear Jess in the background chiming in, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I come and I come and bother him all the time, just like he's bothering me now.
Yeah.
And it's fun, it's sweet. He tolerates me.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and drop his link in the chat real quick, so that if you guys want to go give him a follow, watch the Sulk stream later. I often have it on while I'm drawing. I have it on the big TV when I'm doing my pages or a watercolor or whatever. It's a fantastic warm up to Nightwave or something like that, and I have a good time watching them. So it's always
a good time.
Yeah, we love the Sulk over here. I'm pumped about it. But anyway, James, how's your week been going, James? I just got to ask. You having a good week? Are you having fun, or have anything crazy going on?
Yeah, nothing's really happened. I dropped a couple of videos, and now I've got some big hulking dude that wants to beat the shit out of me. Apparently, and I'm like, why would you want to beat the crap out of me? I am the heir apparent. I'm Nice Guy James. When Mersh falls, and he's going to fall very soon, I'm going to be like taking his spot, and it's going to be Nice Guy James. So I don't know, people. I think I'm the straw that stirs the drink. I'm just one of those people. I'm like Marmite. I rub people up the wrong way. And I can understand because I'm incredibly good looking. I'm incredibly charismatic.
Sure.
I'm very good on stream. A lot of women like me. And, as long as I've got Kerry, when I lose Kerry, I know it's over. But right now, I've got Kerry, I've got Pat. They're on my side. They're in my corner. But if I lose them, I know I'm up shit's creek.
Oh, no, everybody's a fan. And speaking of everybody, let me jump in the chat and say what's up to everybody real quick before we get rolling here and have a good time. We got Swaggy Tunes. That's D-Wax. Shout out to you, D-Wax. She-Show SoCal. Pat, how you doing out there? Hope you're having a good time. We got Miami John. He says, let's fucking go. Shout out to you, Miami John. Hope you're having a great one out there. Mr. Jeeky, good to see you, buddy. We got Hobo Chili Recipe in the chat. Shout out to you. I heard this guy has 18-inch biceps, bro. I believe it. I heard he's a unit, bro. Shout out to you, Hobo Chili Recipe. Monk fruit
Yeah,
sweetener.
but I've got an 18-inch penis.
Okay, yeah, slap him with. That sounds a little gay if you're gonna slap him with a penis. Just saying, but we got Sulkstream out there. He says banger intro song. Yeah, I try to collect some good songs. Yeah, that might have been the Cowboy Bebop or something like that. I got a couple Street Fighter melodies, whatever. Got a couple of acapella Mike Tyson's Punch Out songs too. We try to have fun around here, try to get it going. Hillbilly Harry says Captain Ray Ray. Shout out to you. We got Forrest Mommy in the chat and on the stream. Shout out to you. FOMO as always. We got Brian Suddenly. Good to see you, Brian Suddenly. He says here is a follow, Sulk. Fantastic. Already making new friends. That's what we love over here. Support the great people. Yeah, we love spreading the wealth. Kelly Cat says LMFO Ray Ray. Joe Schmo, he says like a vulture, 100%. So we're trying to have a good time here, So anyway, James, you find yourself embroiled in a little bit of controversy or controversy, as they say over in England. Are you good? Are you a fighter? Are you somebody who fights? Are you a street fighter? Are you more of a Lothario, a lover at heart? What would you say, James?
I'm a scrappy Lothario, I would say, of course, because I come from South London. I used to hang around with a group of Albanians when I was living on the south coast, and they were always in a pitched battle with a bunch of Serbs. So I've been in a few scuffles and a few skirmishes, but like I said, this guy is a unit. He's a big man. It's going to come down to my high IQ versus this guy's brawn. And that's what I was trying to say. I was being complimentary.
Right.
Hobo is a big man, but I have an extremely large brain.
Yeah.
So, and an incredible fight IQ.
Yeah.
So I would find a way to bring him down if we were to ever meet in a back alley. You would obviously be my second. And I'd imagine my nemesis Roots Calhoun would be Hobo's second. And then we'd fight to the death.
No, bro.
For Kelly.
I'm buying beers for everybody. We're just gonna go in the bar and have a drink, and then we're gonna squash it, bro.
Where's the fun in that?
That's a lot.
We want a
more
bit of
fun
blood,
than
guts,
fighting.
and thunder, don't we?
No. FOMO, have you ever had men fight over you? Is that an exciting thing? Does that get the old razzle dazzle? Does that get the old SpongeBob moist? Let me know.
No, what fought over me?
No,
I mean, kind of just by saying I'm rich and you don't have to work, come be with me. I guess that was like the biggest fight, but no.
But it worked, right?
I never liked that. And because I didn't go out to bars and stuff either. So I just never was around men who like peacock and fight and all that. So,
yeah.
But, in the real world, if someone needed to like defend me from a bad guy, that, I would like that. That would be like very sexy, obviously.
Obviously, right? And also, just now, we all know that the Incredible Sulk is incredibly sulky. He is a unit as well. Has he ever knocked anybody out that has tried to, maybe besmirch your good name or anything like that?
Well, he definitely, anytime he senses a threat at all, if anyone even looks at me when we're out and about, he will immediately come over. And actually, okay, one time we were out doing comedy and we were at a bar and we were drinking and we were hanging out with some other comic friends. And this other comic was like talking to me and he got literally right in between us and just stood there. And it was so awkward. It was like, she is mine. It was very attractive because no one's ever done that for me before. And it was just, he's so possessive. And I love that. I love it.
Right. I mean, that
It was silly. It was like kind of silly and goofy too. Like it's just like cute, silly.
Yeah. But like he can't, I mean, if I go up to buy drinks or something at a bar and he even thinks someone's like looking in my direction, he's immediately there, just like, like showing off his chest and his muscles.
Now, he's a big fella. I saw him sumo wrestle over in Japan. I think he almost took the title. So he's a big guy.
That honestly turned me on. I was like, I was not expecting that. I was like fanning myself. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, wow, look at that. Like these guys train like all the time to be tough. And my husband's just like throwing them around.
Now, for people who don't know, Jess and John, they went over to Japan. They had a little a family trip, which is fantastic. They do that all the time. I've followed your family trips to Europe, to other places. They're so much fun to watch. I love the pictures.
Oh,
and John, he went. You guys were at a sumo joint. I guess you guys were eating, and then all of a sudden, like Did they say, hey, do you want to come sumo wrestle, or how'd that go?
So they were teaching us about sumo culture, and we were eating the food the sumo wrestlers eat, and then they showed us some techniques that the sumo wrestlers use, and they invited people to come into the ring. They have a name for it, the domo or something like that. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention too much. I mean, there was like grown man butts right in my face. Like
no sumo butts, bro.
And so I have my son and my sons, and then I have my niece who's like 11, and the sumo guys come out and they just all stare at me like this because it's grown man ass just right in their face, and they're trying to be respectful, and it's so funny. But anyway, so they invited people to come out and learn the techniques, and then at the end they were like, does anyone want to wrestle the sumo wrestlers?
Well, it was John with his hands shoot up like this.
John immediately, it was like our 5-year-old and John at the same time. It was so cute. And then John, they were going to put him in the sumo suit that they put like the kids in.
Yeah.
But John's like, I'm not wearing that. And they were like, we got you, bud. And they bring out the diaper, the sumo diaper. And no one was expecting that. And he comes out and oh man,
let's go.
Hysterical. And then he looked really good. I mean, he looked,
I mean, he's
just as good
guy,
as these athletes, right? So
it
was really fun. And then when he wrestled, you could tell the guy was like, oh shit.
Yeah, the guy was like, oh damn.
Like, this is real. Yeah. It was very, very fun to watch.
Now how tall is John? Because I'm not.
He's like 6 foot.
Yeah,
6 foot.
Yeah, and he's like really wide, so he's a big guy too.
He's all in muscle.
And he's all muscle too. Like I saw some shots of you guys on the 4th of July in your backyard, and he's just like flexing his guns, and I'm just like, damn, bro, homie's just running around with howitzers right there.
I call that brawny. I call that like brawny when they're just like, that's what John's like too. Mr. Forsman was like, it's just like.
Yeah.
Like I'll buy your paper towels, babe.
Yeah, not to glaze too much, John. Don't get too big of a head out there, bro. We're just appreciating, okay? We're just appreciating. Also a funny guy, great streamer, all around unit. He's a package, #1 draft pick, obviously, for Jess. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the online dating here in a little bit, but Jess, how did you guys meet? Did you guys do the online thing, or did you guys how'd that go?
Well, online did help, but no, we met doing stand-up comedy. We met at an open mic at a bar, essentially, and then and because I was new to California, I didn't really have any friends yet, and so I was making friends through doing comedy.
And where were you from originally?
Florida.
Okay.
I'm a Florida girl.
Okay, fantastic.
And then so I met him, and then because I was befriending people in the community, the comedy community, he popped up in my people you may know on Facebook.
Cool. Okay.
I added him, and I was actually the one that was like in his DMs, like, hey,
okay, let's go, John.
Hey.
Yeah.
And then we started talking. We didn't stop talking, and then 2 months later, we're living together. 4 months later, engaged. 8 months later, married.
So it was a little bit of an online dating. You guys chatted a little bit in the, probably DMs or whatever, and you kind of felt there was a spark there. Then what happens when you decided to meet? Were you like, because I've been catfished a couple of times, or more than a couple of times on this online dating. Were you surprised? Were you like, oh my God, thank God he's not like,
Well, no, because I met him in person first.
Okay.
So I met him. I was walking up to the open mic, and he was with a friend of his that I had met previously at another open mic. And so I met that guy a couple times. And so he was with John, and I immediately got tunnel vision on John.
Let's go,
John. I saw him with the guy I knew. So I was like, I'm going to go up and say hi to him so I can introduce myself to him.
There you go. Very sly.
So I go up, I say hello, introduce ourselves, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get a drink. And I was actually meeting another female comedian there. And I go to the bar, I see her at the bar, and she's like, oh, I'm glad you're here. There's this guy here you got to meet. He's really funny. He's like someone you want to know in the scene. And his name's John. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together at the time because John's such a fucking common name, right? So then we get our drinks, we go outside, and she's like, this is John. And I was like, oh, I actually just met him. Yeah. And then we talked all night, and we were pretty much inseparable that whole night, except for like when he went on stage. And then like I said, he kind of popped up in my people you may know on Facebook. I added him, DM'd him, and then We did talk a lot because I was actually going from California to Florida a lot to work because I was working in both states kind of. So I was spending some weeks in Florida. So we were, I mean, it was over like the internet. We were getting to know each other a lot. But then he actually was like, I don't want to go a whole month without seeing you. So
Oh,
then he
let's
ended
go,
up coming out
John.
to
Yeah.
Florida
Yeah. Okay.
and he rented an Airbnb. And
Okay.
like, I thought that was so cool because I was like couch surfing on my friends'
Sure.
couches and shit while I was staying in Florida to work. And it was just really cool. And then when I came back to California, he like basically told me like move in with me, and I was like, oh yes.
Is that what he said? He said moving with me, and you were like, yes, daddy. Is that how it went?
Yeah,
Let's
basically.
go.
And then he's like, I am your boyfriend. Like, I'm not your partner. No shit like that. Like, I am your boyfriend. I was like, yes, sir.
Okay, would you say that you were a little bit like feminist or something like that? Is that why he made it clear, like, or is it just an LA thing? Because
Yeah.
I've met LA women and they are like that. They're weirdos.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I wasn't like, I definitely had feminist tendencies just because of the era I grew up in and the propaganda that was fed to me as a kid and stuff like that, for sure. Um, But I think foundational wise, I'm more traditional. I have a traditional family, and that so does he too. So that bonded us immediately. Like I remember the first night we talked, he was like, I'd get along with your family," and it's like, "Oh yeah, you probably would. Like you're actually not like anyone else in California," which was
Facts.
refreshing,
Yeah.
very refreshing.
Now, was John always from California, or was he from another state as well?
No, he was born and
Born
raised
and
in
raised in California.
California.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Stockton and
there
then
are legitimate men out here for sure. They're just hard to find. No doubt about that.
same
Uh,
with women. I know women out
yes.
there that are based as fuck, but they're just far and few between, and you got to be careful, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. We got a little Ko-Fi coming in real quick. Let me give a little round of applause for that. A little Ko-Fi from someone. Thanks for the great show. Great topic. 100%. Yeah, we're just exploring the earlier relationship with Jess and John real quick because we're going to talk about online dating. And we're going to talk about like how do you like I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, the whole online dating scene was kind of like you're weird if you're if you date online, you're a weirdo. You used to go to clubs and stuff like that. James, was that ever something that you thought like this whole online dating thing is for like nerds, for weirdos, for people like that? Or
Yeah, I thought the online dating scene was like for weirdos, losers that frequent our chat. You know what I'm saying? People that not really got much of a social life watching our stream right now. No, it's like, yeah, I did. I have that really bad stereotype about online dating because I come from an era, we've discussed this before, where I like the touch, I like the feel, I like the smell, I like to get out and amongst it and look in the whites of people's eyes. I like to go to the bars, the pubs, and the clubs. So the whole idea of online dating was a complete foreign concept to me, and I just looked at it and like kind of like with a bit of arrogance, a bit sniffy about it, like that's not for me. That's for losers that can't talk to women, don't know how to interact, don't know how to have a conversation, probably never had many sexual relationships. It's just for those type of people. I was a bit sniffy about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And like since I've dipped my toe in the online game, it's been let me tell you, for a randy little bugger like me, it's been hit and miss. I tell you, it's like there's been highs, there's been lows, there's been peaks, there's been valleys, and right now we are going through an existential crisis.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's funny because I warned you a long time ago. I said, James, the online game is a different game, bro. It's a weird game.
For a shark like me, it's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's inverted, actually. It's quite different than the actual in real life game when you have to like do what John did and walk up to the girl and say, hey, you're moving in with me tomorrow. You're going to be my girlfriend. And if you stick around for a month, we're going to get married. Then we're going to have kids, blah, blah, blah. That's the way to do it. 100%. I completely agree. Forrest, Mommy, did you ever have any experience with online dating? I know that like you have had two pretty successful relationships in your time. But was there ever any online dating for you or no?
No, not really. But I did meet a lot of people off the internet.
Sure.
So, I got that excited a bit, but like, no, it was just, I was on the internet very early because I was working early. And I remember I got on MySpace and all that, but I had my boyfriend and that was before, all that kind of stuff started. And then basically, broke up with him and got Mr. Forrest Mommy right away. So never did that, but I know. I'm such like I never thought it was super. I mean, I understood it, right? Because I was online all the time. I worked a day desk job, so I was like on forums and being dorky online. That's why I love our fucking friends chats and shit. I mean, that's just been my life
Yeah.
since since forever, right? But but it's like everything now.
Yes.
Problem is now all these freaks are finding each other, right? All these fucking freaks are finding each other, like diaper fetish dating and everything like that. It's just like,
well, that's what I was gonna.
It keeps going.
That's what I was gonna say. You know, initially it was Facebook, MySpace, then Facebook, and then like people would meet or whatever. But then like it became Tinder, and that I remember Tinder was like 2013 or 14 or 15 or something like that. And then like I was kind of like reluctant to try it. Then you try it. In the beginning you can actually meet people, but then when COVID happened, like it seemed like it changed the perspective of everyone. Where this online world became bigger.
I remember looking because of my girlfriends who are married and have kids now, but I remember like she was showing it to me, and it was like every single male profile in Colorado was guy with his dog, skiing, some other extreme sport, like everything. It was the same pictures for every single guy. It was so funny. It's like I'm sure the women were like that too, but that's what I liked looking at.
Well, no, you're right, because what men figured out was that there was an algorithm to women picking and
drinking beer.
Yeah,
drinking beer. There's a beer.
And so you got to show that like you have a good social life. You got to show that you're athletic. You got to show that you go places. You have money, and you got to show that you're sociable. And
in Florida, my friends told me it's men holding fish because they want to let you know I can provide food.
Yeah. Okay. Well, does that?
I was like, that makes sense to me. Like,
does that work? Did your friends find like quality guys or?
I do know of 2 people that met on Tinder in the earlier days that are married and they have children now, and they're still together. They're happily married. So I know it did work, but they were normal people. They were not like hookup culture people, which I think essentially has ruined online dating.
It has
hookup culture. It's hookup culture.
It has. You're 100% right. It's gone 2 directions for both genders. Like we got for the women, they think they're all 10s. They think they all deserve to be flued out. They all want to go to Dubai and get that shower, come home with the Bugatti. I want the Bugatti. And then for the men, men basically find a little algorithm. And then I don't know if you know this, Jess, but back, when I was, looking at Tinder, talking to everybody, all men would do is swipe right on everybody. Like for everybody. And then like whoever they matched with, then they would decide if they wanted to go on a date or not. So they would be sitting there and they would literally, and then, they developed other little devices that would basically swipe for you. So you didn't have to sit there and swipe. But that's how autistic men can get when they're trying to find a girl. And I was always like, bro, just go out to the bar. I used to live in Hermosa Beach. I don't know if you guys know where that is. You guys were in LA for a minute. I'm sure Salk knows where that is. Down by Manhattan
we were
Beach.
up in North California. Actually,
oh, you guys are in Northern California.
I'm sure that he does. He knows where that is. But I actually never went to Southern California when I lived there. So it wasn't until after we moved.
Okay, well, where were you guys at in Northern California? Just
the Sacramento area.
Oh, Sacramento. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talked to Salk because in my early years, I lived in Sacramento. I lived in Antelope, North Highlands, out there by Citrus Heights.
Citrus Heights, yeah.
Yeah, Citrus Heights. Yeah, 100%.
So ghetto.
Yeah, bro, it is ghetto now. It's super ghetto.
It is. Sacramento is super ghetto. I remember going there and being like, this place stinks.
Yeah, right. So why did you pick Sacramento to go to out of all the places?
Well, because I got it. My work took me out there, and I was opening up a monkey sanctuary that was outside.
Wait. Did you say monkey sanctuary?
For blacks.
Yes. What the hell?
Not black people.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that anymore. So
right.
But,
so you worked in like zoology or some shit like that?
I worked in Florida. I worked at a primate sanctuary.
Wow.
And, taking care of the monkeys there and birds as well, exotic birds from either pet trade or the lab research or entertainment animals. And I met my old boss through there. She had monkeys at that sanctuary, and she was taking them to a sanctuary she was opening in California. She asked me to be the sanctuary manager.
Oh, cool.
And so she moved me out there, and it was just kind of stalled because of the regulations in California.
Oh, regulations are crazy.
That's why I had to go back and forth from California to Florida a lot to take care of the animals, and then come back here and help with working on the sanctuary. And then and I had a lot of free time while I was in California. That's why I started the comedy. And so then I met Sulk, and then
very cool. I'm sure dealing with primates kind of helps you work with the men in the bars a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Understand their nature a little bit.
Yeah, I've never had problems rejecting people, luckily. So.
Yeah, I mean, like that. Well, that's what I tell all attractive women, and like if the attractive women don't know this, you guys all need that bitch switch. Every attractive woman needs a bitch switch. You got to be able to flip that switch and go bitch mode 100%, and that'll keep you safe. If you don't do that, you're going to get in all kinds of trouble. I'm sure, Jess, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I remember rejecting someone once, and then them getting mad at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do you want me to be interested in you now? Like, I don't understand. What are you doing here? Like, I'm just here. I'm here out with my girls. I want to be with my girls.
Right.
If I wanted you, I would have had you. Like,
right, exactly. I mean, like, you know how to order from a menu 100%. We got a new Ko-Fi from David P. He says, tell FOMO she looks hot as fuck today. Well, there you go, FOMO. We got David P out in the chat.
Thank you, David P.
You're looking great today.
David P. FOMO always looks good, so.
That's true. FOMO.
Yeah, but how do I look? That's the most important thing. I want David P. to send a Ko-Fi to say how I look and to say James looks hot as fuck.
Yeah.
He's made an effort.
Yeah, 100%. James, so did you do very much of the Tinder, James? Did you try that out? Did you get the?
I dabbled with Grindr for a bit, but it didn't really work out.
Grindr? No, James, not Grindr, bro. Did you try the Tinder? Did you get like the 5 pictures and like?
No, it's just not for me. I can't get my head around online dating. I just can't. It's just such a alien and foreign concept to me that this is how you go about finding a bird. You know what I mean? How you go about finding a woman. You have to go through all this computer rigmarole. You have to go through all this online bullshit. It's like, it's weird. You need to like I said, you need to get out and amongst it. Look at Jess's story with Sulk. They got out and amongst it. You know what? The touch and feel that you can see in each other's eyes. You know, the chemistry. You got the back and forth. You got the banter. You know, you're enjoying each other's company. You're having some drinks. You're having a laugh. Then you know. This whole thing, it seems almost artificial to me, and like it's not natural. It feels to me like it could fall apart at any minute. You're going to find out something about someone.
Well, it really does seem that way. It seems like there's always this bigger, better deal, and you don't just sit with people and like get to know them and then develop that relationship that you really need if you're going to have a successful relationship like Forest Mommy, or a successful relationship like Jess. Where you're going to actually start a family, or be in a long-term relationship. You can't shun people right away. Like, I don't know if you're like sitting there like, oh, you walk in on the guy one day and he might be a cyclist. And you're like, oh shit, you're a cyclist? Well, that's game over for me. I'm out of here, bro. Not that I love cyclists.
A lot of these online dating people have got weird behavioural tics. You know what I mean? They've got skeletons in their closet. You find out something about them that makes you think that's the reason why they've been reduced to doing online dating, because for some reason they've got like a personality characteristic or trait that doesn't allow them to go out to a bar, a club, a restaurant, a pub, any kind of social circle and be comfortable. You know what I mean? There's something about them that's uncomfortable in social interactions. A bit like Ice Dancer with Mersh when she went on the cruise. She was a duck out of water, and she ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny that you mentioned that. But no, we got Joe Schmo. He says, but who owns the dating apps? You're 100% right. Forrest Money.
It's not my friend BB, so shut up. I won't have anything said about the state of Israel.
Yeah,
shut up.
Yeah, 100%. We all know who it is. It's a special group of people. But Forrest Mommy, have you ever been out and about with Mr. FOMO, and he's had to like kind of do what Sulk did and kind of stand in between somebody's face, or is Mr. FOMO more laid back than that?
I mean, a little bit. Like if we do go hang out with people, we trust who we hang out with,
sure.
And we didn't like go to bars either. Like we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
But can I add something onto the online dating?
Yeah.
It spoils people too, because like now all these people are getting like too much romance from too many different people. Like, you know what I mean? And it like that really ruins you, because like I swear to God, like my ex was great, but we were broke. But then, like, this Forrest Mommy, all he had to do was like romance me twice, and I was in. And he hasn't romanced me ever again since. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Mr. FOMO for the win.
burns them out, like burns. And then you get these women who are like, yeah, it is fine for a woman to want to look for a provider and all this, but then you have these bitches who are like, you got to get paid for my dinner, and then they turn into those kind of monsters and stuff. So that's been a definite downfall. And these women, they just expect it. It's like, no, you got, like, the man will want to take care, want to, and they just expect it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's never really had, we'll be downtown and he'll things like that, but no one's ever, I guess I look too tough. No one ever wants to fuck with me.
Well, maybe they want to, maybe fuck with you in a different way. But no, I've been out with attractive women, and like quite often I've had like, the woman will come up to me and she'll be like, oh, this guy, he brushed against my ass and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh shit, bro. You know what I mean? So then you got to kind of go deal with that, put out the fire. And, because no woman, bro, if a woman comes to you and says, this guy grabbed my ass, bro, you can't just let that slide. That's going to, like, the romance dies on the vine right there. Like
dry up quicker.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
You gotta take care of it.
Yeah, you gotta at least like get your chest out and be like, all right, daddy's got to go to work. Get your hat down and like, do what Sulk did. And just be like fucking blatant about it. Be like, motherfucker, get the crazy eyes. Be like, you want to go? You want to go? Because we going. No,
I think part of online dating too is it takes the humanity out of meeting somebody.
Great point.
And it's so easy to dismiss a person, even though they might have an attraction, a connection with you. It's so easy to dismiss them in like a cold, almost calculated way. I see it all the time with people I've known, or I just see it online, and it's so sad. It's sad because it's one of the best things about being a human is being able to make those relationships and bonds. So,
and that special connection that you have, right? That's very, very important. It gets erased. You got maybe the women on one side looking for the bigger, better deal. You got 80% of men who are just trying to get a piece of pussy if they can. Then you got the top 10% of men who are like, I'm fucking bitches, left, right, and center. I don't care about you, and they throw them back in there. They use them and abuse them, and then the women get hurt, and then it cycles down. So I completely agree with you on that one. It takes the humanity out of dating. I don't know if that's a direct result of the of a feministic approach to it, or if it's an algorithmic result, or a combination thereof. What are your thoughts, Jess?
It's definitely feminist mindset, but also men have gotten soft. I mean,
men have gotten soft.
I'm sorry, boys, but you're a
true.
little scared. You're too scared. You're like, oh, I don't want to be accused of being a rapist. All women want to be raped. Stop it right now.
Exactly. Yeah, every woman has a rape fantasy. I want to touch on that real quick, but I got a Ko-Fi I got to hit real quick. We got D-Wag coming in. He says, shout out to D-Wag in the chat. He says, new tip from D-Wag, Swag Tunes. James is looking really good today. I think maybe me and him could grind it out. Okay, D-Wag. All right, we see what you're saying.
Finally. I've only been trying to impress him for months. Finally, me and him, I can imagine, I'm going to come over to the States. We're going to go on a date and live happily ever after. When I saw his hair, how good his hair looked yesterday, I was like, me and D-Wag could have a future, I could spin him around and pretend he's a woman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got that ass.
That made me pee my pants. His hair yesterday made me pee my pants. It was
so good.
Bro, he's so funny. D-Wag is a natural. I'm trying to get him to stream more, bro, but he only likes it to do it in small spots. We got also a Ko-Fi from David P. Shout out to David P. In the chat. He says, James looks pretty busted, but he's British, so I guess he's a British 8. He's certainly no hobo. Oh, shit. Shots fired right there. James, you want to respond to that? Or no?
He must be part of that homosexual group called the Aristococks or something. I always see it in the chat where they go ride and rise and stuff. I don't know what they're riding, and I doubt they rise to the occasion. No. So I don't know. It's a weird old group. No, they should come over to my group, Bruv Club. Bruv Club is superior to the Aristococks. No, that's just a fact.
We could be bros. We need
to be mortal enemies. We need to fabricate this beef so we can, get likes and views.
Yeah. We got Big B Trucker in the chat. He says, just be confident. Just come up and be straightforward. Jess, that worked for you. Was that the recommendation you would basically give the men? And how do men stop being so soft? What are your thoughts, Jess?
Yeah, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted in life. I knew I wanted family. I knew I like a strong man. So John showed me that immediately. You know, he was a little bit crass. He was
gotta push the boundaries. You
you got to push the
You
boundaries.
gotta
You
have
got
that
to
spice, that sexual chemistry.
yes.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing about that people don't get when they're online meeting people online, um, I saw John, and like I said, I got tunnel vision.
Yeah.
It was just instant. And he said, you know, he saw me and he was like, look at this chick. You
Yeah.
know, like there was an instant chemistry before we even talked. Before I even got very close to him, I saw him from across the parking lot. And he saw me. Like it was just like that, you know, kind of thing. And you don't get that with online dating
Facts.
because you can become anybody for
Right.
anybody. You can, you know, like someone you can't trust that they're not looking shit up about a topic that you're talking about. You
Right.
don't know if they know it organically or not. And
Right.
so how can you tell if they're like really like vibing with you or if they're bullshitting you? So
Yeah. Also, you guys are pretty well look smashed. You guys are both very attractive people. You're good in a good power couple kind of thing right there. And that brings up the question of catfishing. You know, I don't know, Jess. Have you ever been catfished on a date or anything like that before John or anything? Where you show up and you're like, what the fuck is this?
You know, no, listen, I wasn't like a serial dater or anything like that. Never had a Tinder, never had a hint, nothing like that. I'm old school, long-term relationship kind of gal. Like, like since I can remember, like that's always been me.
Yeah.
So that's probably another reason why it's always so easy, like for me, even though I was online and everything, like I like being online in online spaces, but like, not like that. Like I never was looking for love.
Well,
like
what if you had friends that were serial daters? What would you suggest to them? Like, how do they find kind of like what you and John like?
Give me a call.
I'm sure you've got friends that are like, oh my god, I wish I could find a John. You know, I just find all these losers that just want to.
Well, one of my best friends actually, she's about to have a baby like any day now, and she came to me and she was like, I've known this guy since I was like in high school. We've always been friends. Like she didn't friend zone him or anything. It was just they were mutual friends. Like it was just really just totally mutual. And she's like, you know, I'm kind of starting to develop feelings for him. He's developing feelings for me. Like, but I just don't know if I'm like, you know, like I'm getting older and like if that's what it is. I was like, what are you doing? Just be with him. Like, don't be stupid. Don't be fucking stupid. A year later, they're married. She's pregnant. Now she's about to have a baby. So I'm like, you know, and then I had a friend when Sulk and I got married, you know, she's like, she's on Hinge, on Tinder, going out with these guys, like fucking them, like what? We're on YouTube. What can I have to
you just say fucking them. I say fucking them all the time. I'm always trying to fuck.
She's fucking them. Right. She's getting her heart broken. She's getting used up, and then she's like, you know, I want to get married. I want to settle down. All this stuff, and I told her flat out. I was like, because she was saying, I'm going out with this guy tonight. He's gonna get me drinks. I was like, make him buy you dinner.
Facts. Okay.
I was like, you can have drinks at dinner. You can get the drinks at dinner. Make him buy you dinner. I was like, put a price on it. She's like, are you calling me a whore? I'm like,
you're like, yes, bitch. Not
like,
really.
If you want what I have, then you need to listen to me.
Gotta
like
move
I
different.
just she told me flat out, like when after we got married, she was honest with me and she's like, I was really jealous when you were getting married. And it actually showed when I was going shopping for my wedding dress. I had 2 other friends there, right? And then this other friend. Other friend brought her mom, which she didn't. It was really weird that she brought her mom. And then the whole time I'm up on this little stage trying on dresses, doing the bride thing. Literally scrolling on her phone because she's so pissed off.
She's mad. She mad it ain't her.
She mad. She mad. She couldn't handle it. And but you know what? Like you act like a hoe, you'll get treated like a hoe. And like no, you're not. If you don't have self-respect, then no one's gonna respect you. Like what the fuck? You know?
I completely agree with that. And also, you know, look for something bigger than just the 6'6", you know, the 6-pack, the 6-inch, the Bugatti. And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And there was this one guy she was with, and she was like, you know, he's just more conservative and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but he says he wants a wife and he wants a stay-at-home mom and shit like that. That's what you want to do. Like, you might have to, like, you know, you're not going to. The thing is, I think people are so brainwashed into thinking that they're going to find someone that checks every single fucking box. You're not going to check every single fucking box for everyone. Like, that's crazy and, like, presumptuous to think that. Like, you guys can accept each other and grow together, but
grow together. That's the key.
Nobody wants to do that. No one wants to put forth the effort or commitment. It's just, it's sad.
They want
really
it move
sad.
in ready. They don't want to grow together. They you know what I'm saying? They're like, I need the penthouse right now. I need the tiger skin couch. I need the rocking chair over there, the Adirondack chair. I need all that stuff. And
or they want a masculine man, but they want to like emasculate.
That's
him.
Okay. I can't. That's
Like,
what I
it's
can't
so
get over.
embarrassing.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Is they always say, I want a strong, independent man, somebody who's gonna like grab my hand and take me around, and then they're like chastising him for whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, James, have you have any experience with this kind of thing?
I just want a woman, right? I just want a woman, right?
Yeah.
Who's good in the kitchen
Okay.
and half decent in the bedroom at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I'm an aging Lothario. I'm aging out of the game. I need
Right.
to settle down sooner rather than later. So I need to find someone. You know what I mean? I don't want to get up to the point in where it's beggars can't be choosers. You know what I'm saying? I still want, you know.
Where they still have their teeth. You know, you don't want them without their teeth.
Exactly.
100%. We
Still put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of octogenarians where I live. You know what I mean? I could get myself a rich widow, but you know what I'm saying?
I got a Ko-Fi here from David P. He says, just kidding, James. I'd bang you. From David P. Shout out to David P. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Did you have something, FOMO or Jess? I thought I heard somebody say something.
Oh, I was going to say, this is what I'm talking about, James. Stop being so freaking picky. And just because someone can get new teeth, you can get new teeth these days. Okay.
It's true. That's actually true. And they can do it in 3 days.
Tooth. I'm getting a new tooth.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
This is the thing when they go on about British teeth. That's what makes me laugh, right? The big thing always with me is like British teeth and the accent, right? It's the South London accent and British teeth. Now, I've seen people that come from Florida. They got no fucking teeth. You know what I mean? They're wrestling gators and doing all kinds of crazy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Listen, we love our meth. Okay. You leave us alone. It's part of our culture.
We call that a weight loss supplement where I'm from. We don't call that.
And a good time. Okay.
Yeah. And well, the clean.
Jesus, if I lived in Florida, I'd be a millionaire by now.
Yeah. What was that, FOMO?
I said it's and entrepreneurship and
That's
manufacturing and everything.
A go-getter. And also, you know, they'll clean your apartment too on the way out. 100% agree with that. We got Big B Trucker in the chat. He says, damn it, Big B says, I was a problem and she was not. I think he's talking about his wife. We got Kelly Cat in the chat. She says, yeah, James is looking in the wrong places for a blonde with an attitude. Where should James look for a blonde with an attitude? Where would be a good place? FOMO, where should James look? Where should Ray Ray look? Well, you know, we got you guys have successful relationships. You know, what would you give advice to your bros?
We got to have our little artist house out here in Colorado.
There you go.
Just people out here.
Yeah, some of them Colorado crazies. How are the ladies out in Colorado? Are they pretty good, FOMO?
Well, my friends are, but like I don't know about like, you know, other people. But even like my crazy friends are great. I love them.
Let's go. We got
like that baseball game the other day I was at. The one girl, she just got her boobs all redone.
Yeah.
She's like 54.
Yeah.
You know, she's just like whatever.
Yeah.
She's
What
like,
a
it
babe.
was the first day I was like,
Yeah.
I know. I was like, you know, because she had like ridiculous ones before, so now she's old. I don't judge. Whatever.
Bro,
My other friend had fake.
How did your friend's date go with the football player?
Oh, I don't know. I'll text her and ask.
Yeah.
I hope it went really badly.
He's married.
Oh.
He's married still too. So it was like, ooh, what are you doing, girlfriend? So yeah, I gotta find out.
Oh damn. We got a Ko-Fi right here from Sulk. He says, shout out to Sulk. Shout out to you, buddy. Thank you. He says, James, if you want me to send you some shirtless pics, just say something. Cringy. Just let him know. So Sulk making that offer. Now I do know that you know, in some states you need a license to have some of Sulk's shirtless pics because he's carrying them guns. So you got to watch out for that. 100%. But is that what you would say to James? James, go out, maybe go to the football games. You know, I don't know, James. Are there a lot of women at football games, soccer games? I know that you got the Norway versus England today at 2:00. It's coming up in 2 hours.
it's terrible now.
The CP. At the CP,
Yeah, the
don't you go to
Crystal
something called the
Palace.
CP
The
a lot
Crystal
or
Palace,
something?
yeah. Crystal Palace. Everyone started going to that CP, didn't they? Yeah, I used to like it back in the old days when it was just the men. You know what I mean? We were getting drunk and starting fights. Now all the women are coming to the football.
Yeah.
It's all sterile and boring now. No excitement. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
It's
I know you guys
terrible.
have hooliganism over there where everybody gets in a club and you all fight.
The good old days.
Do women fight like that now, or is that just at Walmart?
Yeah, they fight all the time now. Especially gypsy women. I sent you that video the other day, man. Gypsy women are still getting down. They're always getting in fights now. Call out videos. Yeah, we got a lot of chavs where I come from. You know what I mean?
Chavs?
Council House and Violent.
Oh,
They got the track suits on. They got the sovereign rings.
Yeah.
They're beating each other up over Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that's not just the black people.
Well, I mean, Kentucky Fried Chicken is pretty good. I've had their biscuits quite a few times. Got to butter them just right. Get a little bit of honey on there, a little Southern action. It's pretty good. But no, so James, well, I know that you moved out to the country, and I'm right now. I moved away from LA because LA was crazy, bro. LA during the lockdown, Jess. You from California, Sulk from California. The lockdown was crazy. I moved out to the desert, but the bad thing is there aren't too many women out in the desert, so I constantly have to drive back down the hill, back down to LA, and they are crazy in LA. What if I'm looking for a lady, a good mother? What should I be looking for, Jess? What are your thoughts on that? Like, if you had a cousin or a brother or whatever, would you say, okay, well, you can't go with the hoes, bro? Obviously, you know what I'm saying?
I would say a good Christian girl.
Okay, Christian girl.
Go to church.
Go to church.
Go to Home Depot.
Okay.
And look for a girl that's like looking around. She's probably looking for a husband, not for a tool. You know what I mean? Like, that maybe, like, really honestly, I think get a hobby. Like, get a hobby that gets you out of the house doing something creative or with your hands, like be handy. I don't know.
No, I completely agree with you. I think that's a great way to do it. I think if you're going to try to meet new people, go rock climbing, go, like you said, do something handsy, because women love it if you've got strong hands. I know that for a fact. You can crush up that espresso bean really quick, and they they love that shit. But okay, what do you think, FOMO? If you got like a cousin or a nephew or something like that, and he's like, Auntie FOMO, I just don't know. I'm like, I'm online. I don't meet any women when I'm on the Xbox Live, calling people faggots and shit in the what do they call it? The rooms that they all gather in, the back rooms. What would you tell them to do? Would you say sack up, eat some shit sandwiches, go out there and meet some women? Like, I love the idea about doing stand-up comedy, bro. Go out there and fucking do stand-up, do an improv class. Stretch your social boundary. What do you think, FOMO?
Well, I'm kind of going through this with my nephew right now. So he's 26.
Am I clairvoyant or
what? He lives, and he's a firefighter in Atlanta.
Okay.
And owns his own house and all this stuff. But I noticed on his Instagram that like he was taking pictures with this girl, and so I like get with my mom. I'm like, who's this girl? Well, and they're like, my sister and my mom don't like this girl. She's the same age. She's fat.
Okay, why don't they like her?
She's like,
because she's fat.
She's fat. Because she's fat, and
awesome.
she has like, not that there's anything wrong with tattoos, but like she just has like weird tattoos. And then I guess she like, when my sister first met her, she's like, yeah, I'm on SSRIs and all this and that.
Oh no!
I know.
Red flag.
So they broke up a little bit, and which is I have a friend who's out here who has a daughter that lived in Atlanta who'd be perfect for him too, because he's Christian and all this.
Yeah.
But then him and the fat girl got back together, and then the Atlanta other girl had to move. But like the church stuff is for real though, like that, especially this day and age with how there's more people going back to church and stuff. Like that's definitely a good spot. Like even my friend, she was a good Christian all her life. She finally just had her baby and everything, got married. She got married to a guy she graduated high school with, but they didn't get married till like recently.
Oh, that's
like,
solid.
Damn it. But yeah, I agree with that. And just like anyone who hangs out with their family too.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, if they like do a lot of family stuff, or like, they're always just hanging with their family, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
If their parents are still together, I think it's a really good indication.
That's good intel right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, like it's true. Like doesn't mean that the relationship was perfect by any means or anything, but it just shows commitment, and that's like the base of their foundation of relationships. So
Well, and there's like an
Yep.
established hierarchy there, right? I mean, like, you know, a lot of people say this, that when you marry the other person, you're marrying into the family, and I think that gets overlooked, especially like post-COVID. What are your thoughts about that? Like you said, Jess, you said earlier that Sulk said, "Oh, I'd get along with your family," and he did, right? And that's so important.
yeah, him and my dad, they get along really well. They're
Her
very
dad's
similar.
hot too. Her dad
Oh.
is so hot.
Well, I mean, she's got good genes. I would
gosh.
expect the father to be, you know, attractive as well.
So yeah, they get along. They love him. You know, they like how he's not a bitch nigga, you know what I mean? Like he's a strong man. He's not, you know, he's not scared to speak his mind, and he provides, and you know, they just want I'm their only daughter. So
Sure,
I
yeah,
have
they
two
want you taken
brothers, so
care
they
of, for
they
sure.
want me taken care of. Of course, when I told my mom, like, I'm dating a comedian, she was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
right. Oh my God. So is your parents, is their background, are they like blue collar people? What kind of so
yeah.
they're more
So
of a
my
masculine patriarchy kind of people.
Absolutely, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, my mom, I would consider her like a typical boomer mommy. You know, she's like, she's typical boomer mom, but and I love her so much. She's great.
Yeah.
And then my dad, yeah, he's very you know, both of them are Southern. They grew up Southern. They're Southern culture, so Christian,
Yeah.
and then yeah, my dad is super based, and I mean, that's
Fantastic. And
yeah.
it's pretty cool because you grew up with two brothers, so you probably had a tomboy phase. Is that accurate? Can I say
I
that?
was never really girly.
Yeah.
I got girly in like my mid-20s. Like
Okay.
that's actually when I started, like actually in my late 20s is when I started dressing more provocatively. I was very modest, like dress like yeah, I was very tomboyish growing up. I did all the boy things and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
my parents didn't treat me any different because I was a girl, except my dad. I mean, my dad did. He was a little softer on me,
Yeah.
but you know.
Well, and
that's
also, you know, good
something
thing
else.
because nowadays, you know, if you get tomboys out there, they try to like convince them they're men. You know,
Oh my gosh.
why are we
Yeah.
ending the era of the tomboy? Some of the
I
best
don't
women I've ever met
know.
are tomboy or were
I
tomboys at one
know. I
time.
love it. I think it's such a great way for women to be, you know, keep modest during their early years, and, you know, keep a good head on their shoulders and focused on other things than, you know, like I wasn't like going out and getting drunk in high school with
Right,
my friends. I was sitting at my house like playing World of Warcraft, you know,
right.
because like I wasn't interested in all that shit. Like, so I think that kept me a little bit like
Yeah.
more like, I don't know.
Learning
I'm
how
not
to
as
fillet a
humble now.
fish. Yeah, learning how to fillet a fish instead of selling your own fish. Like I totally get that.
Exactly.
And
Oh gosh. I mean, honestly, I can't believe women these days starting OnlyFans at like 19, 18 years old. Like
yeah.
they have no idea what they're doing to themselves.
Yeah.
It's
I got one or two ko-fis. One of them was from David P, and he said pipe. Now I'm reading this because Sulk he said something right after this. So new tip from David P. David P, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, sir. He says I'd pipe down John's wife. Of course, you can't say that. You gotta be respectful. It's John's wife. I was just saying that FOMO is even hotter than usual, if that's even possible. I'm gonna have to pull up a James and try to persuade you to leave your man. Not gonna happen. Both of these people are in fantastic relationships.
I never did that. When have I done that?
Yeah.
That's slander, mate.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Then we got
in public.
a ko-fi from Sulk coming in. He says, David P, I'm the only one who gets to tell my wife to pipe down.
That's right. That's right. And
There
I'll
you
get
go.
louder. Okay. Don't
That's
make me
right.
get louder. I can get loud.
That's right.
can
So
get
there you
loud.
go. So read those two in there. But, you know, we want to be respectful. Of course, they're very attractive women, very attractive people on the. But you know what the thing is if you want to attain an attractive person, you got to treat them normal, bro. You can't like go in there and then, you know, I've heard this phrase: if you treat somebody like they're a celebrity, they're going to treat you like a fan. What are your thoughts on that, Jess? You know, if a guy wants to get an attractive woman, you treat them like, hey, like they're a tomboy, right? You treat them normal.
Well, yeah,
Or like they're a
knock 'em down a
retard.
peg or two, you know, knock them down a peg or two.
Facts.
Sulk always keeps me on my toes. I never really know, like, am I doing all right? You
Yeah.
know? Like he doesn't want me to know I'm doing okay. You
Right.
know? He wants me to be like, she's got to, you know, keep at it.
Well, and that keeps the
Keep it
excitement
tight.
there. That keeps it
Well, no,
exciting.
and same I want to, like, I'm like, okay, I'm 35. I'll be 36 in a few months. Like, I'm not some spring chicken, like, so I gotta keep it tight. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
that's
I gotta keep it sweet. So watch my attitude, not get all like old and stressed out and with stress face and stress attitude and being a bitch, like, no, you got to be sweet. So.
I completely agree. And you're a boy mom as well. I don't think you have any daughters. Is that am I right with that?
2 boys.
Right. And so, like, you got to show that compassion, that happiness. Like, I had a great mother, she was a boy mom as well. And she still has that brilliance and that, that resilience. And she still has the sparkle of beauty and of youth. And, I see it in you. I see it in FOMO. And I think that's a fantastic thing to keep as you grow. You can get older, but you don't have to get old. You can age, but you don't have to get old. And I completely agree with that. And that's none of this bullshit about, I'm look just as good as I did when I was 19.
No, you don't,
right,
and
exactly.
that's okay.
And
like,
that's
and I don't
fine.
even want to be like, I look good for 35. Like, no, I look like a 35-year-old. This is how 35-year-olds can look,
right?
If you put some effort into it,
Yeah, if you stay tight or whatever, and FOMO as well. FOMO looks fantastic.
I know, damn.
And she's always getting them thirst traps going, and catching them 50 or 60,000 on the old Twitters and making her hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. From her thirst traps, FOMO. You're doing a good job over there. Me and James could take a couple of notes on this, bro. How to, maybe I need to do a little more thirst trapping. Or James, what do you think?
James is out there topless. James is out there topless in his videos. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, James is. James, he does a good job, bro. He stirs the pot. He gets the ladies excited, and he's got that banter. James, that.
Well, this is what we're doing, right? We were talking about it, weren't we? You mentioned COVID earlier. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for COVID.
Right.
Because, like, I got kind of depressed because lockdown fucked me up because I was a social person who was suddenly instructed that I had to become antisocial.
Right.
I had no form of social media. I'd never been on social media. So I was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? Lockdown's just basically destroyed my entire social life. So I got in here and I met new people, interesting people, and it kind of come at a good point in my life because all the people that were my friends abandoned me over COVID because I took a different stance.
Yeah.
They complied, I didn't. And it was like, whoa, you didn't comply, so you can go fuck yourself. They were those type of people. I didn't realize it at the time. Lifelong friends that they ditch you over this one issue.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in now. So I feel better for it. But like you were saying, you and I have moved to a place that is not very conducive to having an active social life or active sex life or any kind of romance because I got away from an area that was violent, full of Muslims, full of blacks that I didn't want to be around anymore. So I abandoned South London and come to Sussex. But I live in an area of octogenarians and young families. So the dating scene around here is for shit. You know what I mean? It's non-existent.
Yeah. And I come from the Southern California, Southern LA. We got the South Bay area, which is Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach. But, when they went on lockdown, bro, they went hardcore. And I got kicked out of I refused to do any of that kind of stuff. And I got kicked out of a couple of supermarkets trying to buy some fucking, tri-tip and shit. And they got mad at me because I didn't have my mask on. And I was like, I tried to explain to them the viral load concept and how many microns a virus is versus how many microns the holes in your N95 mask are. FOMO, did you have this experience? Did you lose a lot of friends like when COVID came around?
Oh yeah, I mean that was like, and that's what, again, it's silver lining. It's I would never know any of you guys because of it, but yeah, I had all these alternative friends who thought I thought there, and then they all fell for it. No, I mean, so I lost all those friends. I got off Facebook, right? Like in March 2020, I got Facebook, but yeah, it was such a shock. Like some of these people are just so in, and I knew it was bullshit right away, just because. And even I was kind of more left then.
How did you know it was bullshit right away? I'm curious because I knew it was bullshit.
Because I've
right
always
away
been
too.
healthy, and I know how colds work, and I know how I just knew it was bullshit right away. And then you start, like you said, you were trying to explain you couldn't explain shit to people. Okay, the information was out there. even on Twitter, which was bad then, you know, it was the bad people owned it, but you could still find all this information on Twitter, like where Fauci said masks don't do anything, and you know all this stuff, but no one wanted to listen, and it really was that mass formation thing where it was like
mass formation. Hypnosis,
so I mean, it changed my life, but like it really was just like, holy crap, these people. And they've never apologized, right? Of course, I go on about this. That's because I'm still mad about it.
Yeah,
you know?
and rightfully
I tried
so.
to be
rightfully so.
Tried not to wear like mask in the grocery store, stuff like that. But and Mr. Force Mommy never did either. So, but no one ever really messed with us. But I live in progressive hellhole where like they were all in on it.
No,
There's
completely.
still people wearing masks.
Still people, when I go down to LA, I still see people wearing masks too. They're still offering the booster shots at the CVS's down here in LA too.
Get your booster shot and die.
Yeah, get that turbo cancer is what
I know people it happened to.
Yeah.
These people, I know people like.
I do too in LA that had the same thing happen. Jess, did you know that the COVID thing was like bullshit right away, or what? How'd that work for you, or how that? I mean, you're in Florida. Nobody cares in Florida, right?
Well, no, actually, people still wear masks here.
Oh, okay.
And they're still advertising COVID boosters and shit like that. But Sulk and I, we caught on really quick. We were paying attention when everything was going down.
Okay, yeah. Tell me, how did you guys figure it out?
So it was like the beginning of the year of 2020 and in January, and we were paying attention to everything happening in the East, and we were like, okay, this is weird.
Okay, like in China and stuff, right? Because I saw those videos too. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were on alert, and we were kind of like, okay, like what's happening? And we knew immediately that it was like some government shit, like this shit wasn't natural. And we were a little bit on guard at first, but then by the time it came here, like a couple months later, we figured out what was going on. John was on it. I mean, bless him, because
how did John know? How did he?
Because we were just tracking everything. We were paying attention. We were not fools either.
Yeah.
And then so once it started coming mainstream here, and then the regulation started, we were already like, this shit ain't real. And we were very avidly outspoken about it. That's actually how I met Royce and Marie. Was because I was openly like, this shit's not real. I was very vocal about it online. I lost a lot of friends. And then like whatever, but it doesn't matter to me. Those people are fucking retards, and I don't want retards in my life. But so thankfully, like we got wise to it really quick. But at first, before it became mainstream here, we were like a little worried because we didn't know what was happening, but we knew that it wasn't natural. We knew that it was probably like a just something made by the government, whether it was like New World Order shit or whatever. We were already pretty wise to that once it became mainstream here. So we didn't get
too flustered or anything like that.
No, at first we were like, what the fuck is happening? And then we were telling people about it, and then and they thought we were crazy. Because they were like, what are you talking about? This virus that's killing. And I was like, no, like something's going on, y'all. Like beware. And then like a few months later, they were like, John was right. It was so funny. I
remember I saw a video. There was one video in particular when I first learned about all this stuff. It was like in November of 2019, and it was from China. And it was this video of this guy who got sick and then fell onto a fruit table and started convulsing. And I knew right then and there that it was bullshit, because a virus doesn't attack your neurological system in that capacity. So I knew right then and there, and I called my family and told them. A lot of my family still took the shot, and they were like, whatever, we're going to do it. We need to travel. You can't, I got to work. I got to travel. And I was like, yeah, but bro, the whole point of this is to get the fucking thing in your arm. I told them, I said, the whole, viral, to make one of them boosters and one of them I already forgot the word. It slipped my mind, but vaccination. When a vaccination takes 10 years, it's a 10-year cycle, and they did it in 6 months, and Trump is like boasting about it. I was like, bro, you don't know what you're injecting into your fucking arm. And a lot of you could just be like injecting herpes, right? Monkey herpes right in your arm. You don't even fucking know it.
I mean, the ingredients in all vaccines really are just disgusting. You do have monkey brains, you do have fetal cells and
100%.
everything like that, and so but I had family members take it. I had family members die because of being put on ventilator, and
Yes, and that's
that's a death sentence. And
another fantastic
it was
point.
tragic.
Yeah.
And their kids weren't allowed to see them die. They died alone.
Yeah.
It was tragic.
And everybody who knows respiratory medicine knows that as soon as you put somebody on a ventilator, it destroys their lungs. You have to take them off. And then they were pumping them full of remdesivir, which is a drug that creates a lot of formation of a liquid in the lungs itself to induce pneumonia, and then basically have them drown to death. And that's been proven. That's facts. Everybody can Google that. I don't know.
Guess what?
What?
Guess what? Old people have always died from colds and flus. My grandparents died from it. This wasn't a new thing.
Right.
This was like I'm like, you guys still have grandparents? I haven't even have grandparents still. Like, it's just like, duh. Like, you obviously, if you're sick, you don't go around grandparents. All this. But then, they made crime against humanity, making them die alone, and it's just evil. It's just evil.
It's evil. And also, in the nursing homes, they're trying to transfer the wealth by putting these people already into a state of death, and then taxing the when they hand down the money, which is fucking wild. And that's what's going on. The biggest wealth transfer in the history of the world is about to occur as soon as the baby boomers cash their chips in and try to either give them to their children or buy that RV that they can go around to see all the SeaWorlds in San Diego with. I guess that's what they're going to try to do. James, what was your thoughts? I know that you didn't go for the vaccine and all that kind of stuff, and you kind of live out in the country with a lot of octogenarians. That's old people, for those people who don't know what that word means. Did a lot of the old people take the vaccine out there, James, or did they resist it too? Like, I'm curious about how England handled it.
I would imagine that this country was one of the most compliant in Europe. When I knew, basically, was because we have a very polarizing government. Take the parties, right? You had the Conservative Party that were in power, and you had one of the most popular, but at the same time, most unpopular prime ministers in Boris Johnson. Keir Starmer wasn't prime minister at the time. He was leader of the opposition with the Labour Party.
I mean, we know how
you
it
had the
rolled
Green
out,
Party.
But how did the people in your community, like you said, you have like elderly people, did they, in your community, like out there in the country, did they take the shots too, or did they resist?
Yeah, willingly. Everyone around here willingly took the shot. They basically, because what I was trying to get to, basically you had a unity government in this country. Yeah. Everyone who was at odds suddenly came together, and it was just basically one party was running the country, and they basically said, you have to take the shot, because if you don't, you will kill grandma. Yeah. And like I said, in my area, this is an area full of octogenarians. Right. So they were immediately scared that they were going to die. So they took the shot. And then all of the children and grandchildren took the shot because they didn't want to kill their family. There was adverts, don't kill grandma.
Yeah.
Take the shot, don't kill grandma. Yeah. So they were kind of like, there was this like fear campaign pumped out by Boris Johnson and the Conservatives and basically every party and all the scientists, and they basically pumped out this fear campaign, and everyone fell into line and everyone got the shot.
Oh, we got Joe Schmo in the chat. He says he supports lockdowns and vaccine passports. That's right. He's a conservative. Joe Schmo, is that true? Do you support those things? Because those things are wild. Jess, I wanted to ask you, during the lockdown, like everybody was saying Florida was like the Holy Land. Everybody was basically trying to move to Florida. I know that they have what's that retirement community called the Villages or something like that, where they have these big expansive communities that they try to get people to sink their whole retirement into, and then they're locked into this thing. Some people love it. Some people say it's a nightmare. How was that with a lot of people that just all of a sudden moved to Florida?
That was insane, honestly, and it's still almost, I hate this word, but triggering, because I grew up here, and there's just so many people here now, and it's great. It's great if you want to come here and vote how we vote, but if you come here from New York and you want to make it little Jewtown, we don't want that. We want to keep it the way it's nice because of the way the culture is here, right? And so that's something I I really hated seeing was a bunch of people from California coming out. Not my husband, obviously. He's not.
Well, he doesn't count. He has a green card.
Floridian.
No, he's got a green card. He married you. He's got a Florida green card pass. So that's different.
It's funny because people would say, like, ask him where he's from or whatever, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm from California." I was like, I always am like, "I'm a native. I'm a native. I'm a native." I brought him home, okay? Because I don't ever want to be associated with being a Californian. Even when I'm like, yeah, I lived in California, but for 2 years, okay, and I ran back home.
Yeah.
But you know, it was chill. I mean, they didn't really enforce anything. There was a time, there was like a very small, like maybe 2 months where you know, like comedy, because we were still doing comedy. We didn't have kids yet, and we had to do shows a different way, like outside basically. And so that was a little different, and that was annoying, but we were still able to gather. You know, no one was calling the cops on each other like in California. I'm just so glad, because we actually moved August 2019 back to Florida.
Yeah.
And then all that shit went down, and it was like, wow, we got out at the right time, because I can't imagine living in, I have a problem with authority. So if anyone's telling me to do something, like, likely I'm going to probably do the exact opposite.
Yeah. Contrarian.
Fuck
yeah.
you.
Obviously.
Yeah. And so, and even like with other political things in California, I had a really hard time with when people would try to like shame me or shame John. And so it was, Florida was great. It wasn't too bad. You know, they did there was certain regulations for a little bit, but it was very chill comparatively to the rest of the country.
Yeah. FOMO, now I know when the lockdown happened, you got pretty active in politics, and did you meet a whole bunch of new people because of that after is that what got you wanting to do politics?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do it, but it made me be like, I have to pay attention.
Right. Nobody
to
wants to do it.
Because these fat ass public health department people were saying, "Tell me what to do."
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never been sick in my life.
Right.
I've been healthy, So that's what kind of got it going, because it was on the local levels, and then I had my platform had built, and then I'm like, I should help, and then it just kind of goes from there. But that's been a whole nother journey too, just like all the different politics and levels, blah 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 blah. But COVID made it happen. It was funny early. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was going to say, doesn't it feel like we've lived a couple of different lifetimes just in the past 5 years? It seems like
yeah, but it still feels like it just happened as well, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just like, it's so weird. Like, it's just, that was not right. What happened was not. I mean, I'm damaged because of it. No, not really, but like, it really.
She's damaged goods, people.
It really did fuck me up. It really did fuck me up, because I was like, my whole thing in life is you be as healthy as you can. And now these fat asses are like, if you don't get a shot and you need the ER, you shouldn't get the ER. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What do you, like, it just, everything went so stupid.
Yeah.
So, but that's what got me involved locally and kind of started getting me, like, I started going to some of the like county mass protests and stuff like that, and meeting people.
FOMO, do you think that America is more healthy or less healthy after COVID?
I'd say the people who are getting more healthy are more healthy, but the people who are worse are worse.
Do you think
there are more medicines now?
Did it wake a lot of people up, do you think, or did it wake enough people up? What are your thoughts on that?
Not a lot, not enough, but it did wake some people up. I felt like, at least, like, to some extent, right? But no, I think it just made other people think. It made them think like all they got to do is just take shots and do this and that. They don't got to be healthy, and they're all on. And then there's the whole healthcare like crap in the country. People don't. They like all they want is free healthcare. And it's like, well, no, you just don't need to be on SSRIs. You actually don't need healthcare. Go for a walk. Like, go do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they put it on themselves. So.
No, facts.
I don't know.
James.
But also, I didn't want more people to wake up, because guess what? This is a merit-based society, okay? And so if you're a stupid fat ass who's stupid, I don't want you to survive.
Yeah, let's go.
Better than you.
You can just fuck off and die, fat people.
Yeah, fat people can just get the meat sweats and roll over. James, have you ever dated a girl on SSRIs?
Don't think so. Yeah. All the women I've been with, like, they are pretty normal, because they have to be with someone like me, because like I just like a normal, down-to-earth girl that looks good. It's got a bit of passion, good with the bands. I couldn't be with someone like Mersh. See, I read Mersh wrong, I think, right?
Okay.
I read Mersh a particular way, and I'm using this as an example, and this isn't a knock on Mersh because I love him.
Right.
I enjoy Nightwave.
Okay.
But I couldn't imagine myself being with someone like Ice Dancer.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think, could I be in a relationship with a bird like that, you know, that just switches off and gets on the switch, or, you know, has these behavioral tics and patterns? And it's like, no, I need someone who's a bit lively, you know, normal, like old school normal.
Got that
you know,
Italian
not
blood. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on real quick, James. I gotta fix your audio. Froze real quick. Let me fix that. And then you were saying that you need somebody old school, James. Somewhere more, you know, Italian.
Yeah,
you know,
someone who's old school,
fight.
who's got a bit about them. You know what I mean? It's like we were talking about families earlier, and I love my mum's personality, and that's probably why she's still with my dad, and that's why the relationships lasted all these years. They got together in their early 20s, they had me, and they're just about to both hit 70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they still got a rock solid relationship. And I look at that with envy. You know what I'm saying? And they argue all the time.
Yeah.
They row. They got passion. They still got a bit about them. They've got life in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not waiting to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're living their lives and they're seizing the moment. And I look at women now, and some of them are just so flat and pathetic. And I mean that about Ice Dancer. I look at her and I see a bird with no life. I would have binned her off straight away. Well, I wouldn't have got with her in the first place because of her track record. But once I'd been around her for like a couple of days, I would have sussed her out and I would have binned her off. And if I was Mersh, I would have thrown her off the boat, you know, just got rid of her.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't really know. Like, I only get snippets of what her life is like. For all I know, she could be Superwoman. You know, dressing, you know, in a maybe not, okay, or maybe not, whatever. But Jess, I was going to ask you. I have dated a girl on SSRIs one time, and I didn't know it at the time. I just thought she was German. She was on Klonopin, and she had no emotions, bro.
Damn.
I just thought she was German, and then she told me she was on Klonopin, and I was like, holy shit! I went home and I like, what the fuck is Klonopin? And she was like emotionless, but it's true though. Women on SSRIs, it changes who they're attracted to. Is that something? Are you familiar with that, or is that something that you're aware of?
I try not to associate with people on SSRIs because I want normal friends. I mean, like, I have weirdo friends, don't get me wrong, but I don't have like friends that I don't associate with people that are like, I try not to anyway, because I'm a mama now.
Sure, yeah.
I don't associate with people that are insane and that rely on. I want people to like fix your problem holistically. Typically, like if you're feeling a certain type of way, go work out, get outside, like go swim in the ocean, like take a cold bath, like take a hot shower. I don't know, like figure it out. Don't rely on the medical industry. Like I don't even trust like psychologists.
Great point.
I don't trust like therapists. So if you're seeing a therapist, like you're outsourcing your autonomy to them, like fuck that. Like, I don't even want someone in my room when I'm giving birth,
Right.
I don't so I just no, I don't know anyone with SSRIs, but I have seen the change of like one of my friends going from not using birth control. She started dating a guy that got serious, so they were sexually active, so she got him birth control. I saw the change in her, and then she started kind of being mean to me, and then we weren't friends anymore. And I 100% think it's because of the birth control.
Yeah.
I think she lost her fucking mind because of birth control. I took birth control for exactly like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Once, and I felt crazy. So I was like, I'm not taking this shit. Like that, I don't even know why I'm on it. Like, why do I need this? Like, because they'll just prescribe it to you. Like they're like, oh, you're a woman of this age. Here, take this. And I was like,
clears your skin up or something like that. And they say that. I hear that all the time.
Yeah, which really, the best skin I've had in my life is now, and it's because I eat a shit ton of butter, a shit ton of red meat, and I drink electrolytes. Yeah. Like honestly, like I used to think butter made you break out. No, it is like the best thing for your skin. Like I like a pound of butter a day. I swear.
And,
So
and for people who don't know, you're very natural. You like I believe you had natural birth. If I'm right.
I had my last birth was at home, just me and Salk.
Yeah. Fantastic. And that's what my mom did. My mom did the same thing.
Your mom is such a badass. Like I was just telling Salk, like I want to like this. I'm like, oh, I'm going to dip my toes back into streaming today. I was like, you know, maybe that'll like get me motivated to start streaming again. Cause I really do want to do like women that free birth. I want to like highlight that and stuff. So like, I still have your mom in mind. Cause I think that's just so awesome because she did it in a time where there wasn't internet, you know, she would just balls to the wall did it and like knew what she wanted to do. And a lot of women are like that. It's not like they're just being influenced from online. Like a lot of women do like that. And I think it's a really special thing. Your mom is amazing.
Yeah, I told her about that a while ago when you were mentioning it. She said she'd be into it.
Well, she's still into it.
Yeah,
you know.
She's told me all kinds of stories. Like she had a doctor, and they had to meet in private, in secret, or else he was going to get his license revoked. And he told her what to do. They got a midwife. She read all kinds of books. She went through the whole diet. And this might be TMI for people out there. I don't know, but it's part of the human experience. She said that there was a whole routine that you have to go through in order to even prepare your female parts, like the vagina and everything, so that it can open up big enough for the head to come through. And these are things that men need to know, guys. Come on, man. Quit being pussies.
I know. Men are so weak. Like you guys used to want to go to war, and now you can't even watch your wife give birth. Like, oh my God, the propaganda worked on you motherfuckers. Yeah. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, not that I'm excited to see the roast beef, but I'm excited to be there at that special, that special time when the child, so I can tell the child, hey, that's a special relationship you only get with that child. I was there when your head came into the world, and I was there, and it's very, very special. I got that with my parents, and and my mom even looked out for me and my brother as well, and like tried to delay the whole vaccine thing until we were like much older, and we actually had to do it. And even in today's age, I'm sure that she would have been 100% non-vaccination person, but that she's I think in her 70s now. I'm not sure. I'll have to give her a call and ask her. I forget what her age is. Hell, I forget what my age is half the time, bro.
She is in her 70s. I know that.
Yeah. And she's not 25 anymore. I'll tell you that right now. Even though she runs around, in her little car and shows up at my house sometimes, acting like she is 25, which I love. That's the thing, is that like that's an internal youth that you keep.
The young spirit.
That young
My
spirit.
dad's the same way.
Right.
You look at him, and often if I'm with my dad, Sulk's not around, and I have the kids with me. One time someone was like, oh, your husband. I'm like, that's my dad. Like, ew.
Okay.
Like, no. And we've also been called brother and sister before.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh my God. It's nice for him. It's horrible for me, though.
Well, it just means you're going to have longevity, because if it happens in him, then you have the genes too, and it's going to be.
We are very much. I mean, I'm like,
fantastic.
I got my dad. Like, me and my dad are just alike.
And I'm assuming your brothers are very similar as well, probably.
Yeah,
maybe
my older
not.
brother, I would say my little brother's doesn't take as good a care of himself, but my older brother does. He's very active. He works manual labor, and then has like, active hobbies. So
yeah.
And
that keeps your body going, and it keeps you. It changes your diet also. I mean, like you want the red meat, you want the butter, like you said. Like hell, I eat steak and eggs almost every day. I eat like about 6 or 7 eggs. Like I do the whole same thing. I learned how to can. During this whole COVID thing, I like went and bought an all-American huge ass, the biggest one I could get. And I almost thought I blew up the kitchen one time when the safety valve popped up, and it freaked me the fuck out. And I like, oh my God! But it was fine. It was all good. Nobody died. It's like these things that you think, oh wow, my grandparents did this. They didn't know, they were outdated. They don't know what technology is. All of a sudden you realize, bro, they knew it all. They knew what it was all about, and we're only deluding ourselves by giving our energy away to these phones, these apps, all of this technology that's coming in, and basically allowing the dating to be perverted by online dating, so that you get catfished. Like I've been catfished probably 5 or 6 times.
What did they look like? Were they fat? Were they just uggo, like
all
filter
kinds.
face?
So like I'm I'm all excited, doing this new online dating, the Tinder thing or whatever. I'm like, all right, let's go. I got a lot of matches. I'm in a hot spot down there in LA, of course, a lot of traffic and everything like that. So I'm all excited. I go to meet this one girl, And I'm like, I got my phone. I'm looking at her picture, looking for her. And then I see a hand go up at the bar. And I'm like, and I go up. I'm like, okay, where's your sister? You know, because she looked 10 years older, you know, maybe 30 pounds heavier. And she was in this like church outfit that looked like, you know, like maybe an accounting dress or something like that. It was tight to the body with a ruffle that went around it, and it had a floral print. And I was just kind of like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know, I've had another situation where I showed up and the girl had like other people with her, bro. And I'm just
Oh my gosh.
yeah. And they wanted me to fucking cover the drink tab. They wanted me to put my card down. Well, they didn't say overtly to me, hey, Ray, you're going to cover the drink tab. They said, hey.
No, it was implied.
They said, hey, you want to open it? We've already got a tab going. And so I did that. They took their card off. They wanted me to pay for it. It ended up being like, you know, $450 by the time we walked out of there. And I was like, bro, I just had like 2 shots of fucking Don Julio. What are you guys talking about, bro?
Oh my God. I've seen it though. I've seen that my own friends, I've seen them do the angles, do the filters to where they don't even look like themselves.
Yes.
I mean, like, you know, you look like you're about 50 pounds lighter than you are at certain angles. Like it look, you know, like you're the rest of your body's in the other room. Like it's like, what? Like, why don't you? Someone might find you attractive the way you are.
Why don't,
or fix yourself.
Yeah.
Go stop eating as much. Go work out, take care of yourself, and you'll attract someone naturally. I mean, it's not that fucking hard.
Well,
like, really.
That's the crazy thing. I've said this. For every woman, there's at least 10 or 15 men. It might not be the 10 or 15 men that she like has fantasized in her mind that she thinks she's going to get or whatever, but she's got 10 or 15 women. They might be blue collar. They might be Mexican. They might be this. They might be that. But it just depends on how much effort you're going to bring to the table and what you're going to bring to the table. And I know that women always say, well, I'm the table. It's like, well, yeah, okay. I mean, like, you know.
You're as big as the table. You're not, that's not the point.
Right. Well, and then conversely, on the other side, you got the men who are soft as well, who aren't creating that charge of chemistry, that electricity of sexual passion. That's why I say the gender roles need to be as polarized as possible, so you get that spark and that electricity going through each side. You need the men to be real men, and you need the women to be real women. You know, I
have some muscles, get rid of the gut.
There you go.
Need to like work out, and you know, women will notice that. Women will like that. They'll be attracted to that. That's, I mean, one of the things I loved about Sulk was he was strong. Like he's gained a lot of muscle in the 8 years we've been together, but like, you know, I saw that. I saw he was driven to work out every single day. He was motivated in his craft, and that is hot. Like, but so many men are just so, I don't know, women, they just think that like it should just come to them.
Yeah.
It's like they're owed this. It's like, no, you actually have to like bring something to the table, work for it, and you know, don't just assume that you're it's like the participation trophy thing that I think is like fucking up society. Like, oh well, I deserve someone. No, you don't. You need to
That's
be
a great
worthy
point.
of somebody.
We got Big B Trucker in the chat. He says the gut stays. Also, shout out to Daniel Romano in the chat. Good to see you, Daniel Romano. Here's one concept that I want to bring up and get everybody's take on. You know, I think a lot of men are raised in female or single mother dominated households, so they grow up trying to please their mother. Then they take that same relationship dynamic out to the woman. And it does not work. When you go out trying to please your mother and other women, it doesn't work. You have to go out there and kind of act like Sulk did and be the macho man. You're not trying to please the woman. You're trying to go somewhere, and then the Jess, she comes along and says, "Oh, I'm down. Let me. I want this ride. I want to come along with you." Jess, is that what you kind of see? Do you see that there's a lot of? You mentioned the participation trophy, and that's kind of what got me thinking about it. Is there a lot of men out there who just kind of expect to be treated like special, like their mother treated them, and not be that rugged masculine guy that's gonna go out there and like cut down forests and build walls and like go to war kind of thing? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't even want Sulk to go to war, but I want him to be like fit enough and have the aggressiveness to go to war. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I really don't ever want him to go to war. No.
Facts. I mean,
you're not
guaranteed.
a fucking, don't be a hero, but like, I want you to look like you could and go to war for me.
And be a good role model
family.
for your sons, right? You want your sons to have that imprint and you grow up and be like, work hard and like
100%.
want to be like mini sulks and kind of replicate
and
that.
they're already like that. They're 2 and 5, and they're all like they show off their muscles.
go.
They fight like
Yeah.
they're like, and I'm like, you guys fight with each other, but
Yeah.
they're gentle with me.
Yeah.
You're gentle with the ladies because you fight men, right?
Right,
But
exactly.
I do tell my boys, like, I'm like, if a girl hits you, get her back.
Well,
Like,
that's a great point.
don't take shit from women either. Like, you need to be respected as well. And just because she's a woman doesn't mean that, she gets to disrespect you. And we try to model that in our home. But, I think about like the incel community. They think that they're owed a virgin without tattoos. That, it's the same, like the 6 like the 6-pack, 6 figures. It's like the feminist version of that,
You're
and
right.
I just think it's very silly because you might be missing out on somebody that, oh, well, she was in, long-term relationship. She's not hoeing around or anything like that. But because, she's not a virgin, you're going to write her off. It's like, you are going to be lonely. You're going to be miserable. I think it's like a lot of insecurity, but maybe if you would get out of your room, get outside with normal people in every day, live like in the real world and like do something with yourself, you'll feel a lot better. Like, but so many men struggle with that, I think. And then the women are just very hateful towards men because of all the propaganda that they've been fed.
It's funny to me that how many women hate men because they're been trained to hate their dad. And that's something I see a lot. But
Boomer women, man, they're so disrespectful of their husbands. It's embarrassing. I'm always like, ew.
No, you're 100%. You're 100%.
You married him. Why are you disrespecting him? That's disrespecting yourself.
No, I agree. And you have to stir the pot. James, you got to go out there. You got to stir the pot. You got to like basically push the envelope so a woman kind of gets a little bit flush and she gets excited when you're having the banter, when you're having the talk, or even when you're pursuing things, right? Right, James, you got to go after. You got to make waves in order to get attention, right? You can't be the good boy
in every aspect of your life. Yeah. I've got a mother.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mothered.
Right.
By my partner.
Right.
By my bird. You know what I mean? My mother still dotes on me. I'm 45 years old and my mother's about to turn 70.
As it should be.
And she still dotes on me.
Right.
But my dad is like this fucking alpha dude, strong silent type who'll fucking still throw down. And that's when I'm in a relationship, I want that look. I want that chemistry. I want that vibe. I don't want some woman who wants to change me and mold me. I want some woman who lets me be fucking me, mate.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Don't try to fucking box me in. You know what I mean? I want it when you come through the door, right?
Yeah.
And you've had a hard day's work. You come through the door and you have that look and you give her a slap on the ass and you've got that fucking, it's alive, it's vibrant.
Yeah.
That's what I want, That's what I've always been chasing.
Yeah. Have you found very many women that try to change you, James? Like, I know I've dated a couple women who tried to change different aspects of me. They so like I remember one wanted me to actually go out to the bar more. She wanted me to take her out more. Wanted me to like do things like that. Have you found that that's the case, or maybe they want you not to be as vocal, or have you experienced that very often?
Yeah, they want me to be kind of rein me in because I'm kind of like an outgoing personality. I'm a gregarious
social
character.
Butterfly. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a big mouth, you know what I mean? I kind of stick my oar in, I stir the pot, and it's like, well, can you calm down a bit? Can you be a bit more restrained? Can you show a bit more decorum? You know what I mean? Can you be less you? And when a woman says to you, right, can you be less you? You know that it's got no legs,
right?
Because she's already trying to change you. She's trying to mold you. And if this goes the distance, and for God forbid you ever get married, you're going to turn into someone that you're not, and you're going to hate it. You're going to resent her and you're going to hate the person that you become.
Yeah.
Because you a bitch.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. Forrest, Mommy, there has to be push and pull in every relationship. Do you have, I know that you had that with Mr. Forrest, Mommy. I don't imagine you tried to change him, or am I wrong with that? Were there things where you're like, oh, Mr. Forrest, Mommy?
I knew the assignment.
Yeah.
I knew the assignment right away. And I've always been chill anyways, where like, I didn't care, you know?
Very laid back.
Someone's going to make it so I don't. Am I here?
Yeah, no, you're good. No, you're very laid back is what I was saying.
Yeah, laid back. And then, I mean, obviously, no one's trying to change me. He lets me be me, you know what I mean? So it's kind of that give and take. But and I grew up with a boomer mom who was always, Yeah, dude, just always on my dad's ass, even though he was one working, feeding us, and you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like all this. So I was like,
so you saw
and I just
that.
never liked that.
Did that push you away, or that influence you to try to, like, I guess, give men more compassion?
It just made me be more chill.
Yeah.
It just made me more chill and more like understand what's actually really important. Like I just like because just so stressed. They stressed each other out for so much. Yeah, they're still together too, but like they just went through that '90s boomer mom thing. With the boomer moms were just like insane to the men and naggy and all of this. But I've just, but then also I'm the last kid and I was spoiled. I'm just always been very,
as it should
everything's worked out great for me. So I've just been laid back,
I remember in a lot of those 90s sitcoms, like the dad was an idiot, basically he was modeled as an idiot, and the mom was always having to get him back in line, even though somehow he got all the bills paid, got the house was purchased, everybody had a car, but he was the fucking idiot. And I was just always like, that was a big takeaway for me, is to be like, man, I don't want that kind of relationship. Jess, how do you keep your relationship with Sulk on a good balanced keel like that? I mean, you don't strike me as someone who would nag or anything like that. And
no, I have tendencies. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect, but I let him. He needs to be the leader. If I can't be the leader, I'm not meant to lead. I take care. We have our roles, right? And ultimately, he has the say in everything, and that it's the algorithm that works for us.
How does that make you feel? Because I know so many women are afraid to of that word submission. They're like, oh my God, submit.
It was hard at first because I was very independent from a young age, and so that was difficult. And then there was things about me that were unsavory that people had either enabled or or just ignored my whole life, and that wasn't doing me any favors. They're just not wanting to deal with the issue, which I had like I said, unsavory characteristics. And Sulk, he brought those to light, and he was like, this is unacceptable. You can't act like this. And I was like, oh, you're right. You know what? You're 100% right. And then our relationship it blossoms because I trust him.
Yeah.
And I know that he wants what's best for me. And so many women will hear that, like, oh, well, like, oh, I know what's best for you. And then they're like, well, no, I know what's best for me. And then they're like, they're being little bitches all the time. They're, doing things that, are making them suffer in some way. And, I don't think I was all that terrible or anything like that. But, we definitely, like I said, we grew together, and I had to trust him. And plus, like I said, we both had good foundations.
Yeah, good, and that's key. That's important. I have a funny story. I was dating a girl one time. She was over at my house, and she said something to a group of women that were outside of my apartment as she came into my house. And of course, those group of women wanted to carry on the conversation, right? So they came to my door, okay? And I told her to stay back. I'm gonna quench this fire. I'm gonna put the fire out. So I opened the door, and the women are there, and they're like wanting to roll their necks and be like, okay, we saw her come in. We saw her. We want to talk to her. And all. I'm like, ladies, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Everybody just being feisty today. Well, guess what the girl that was over at my house did? Well, she ran up past me and started poking the women in their chests and calling, starting to fight. And I had to yank her by the collar and pull her ass back in, right? And I was like, what the fuck is wrong? I slammed the door shut. The women, there was like 4 or 5 women outside my door yelling and trying to get in my door. And I told her, I had to scold her. I was like, what are you doing? I was putting the fire out. You're like throwing gasoline on the fire. And I said, if it happens again, because they're going to come back, just let me handle it. I'm going to put you in another room. And she was just like mad at me and all that. I'm like, I'm trying to help you out. So of course the women came back. This time they had 3 or 4 men with them. And I was like, I opened the door. The guys were like, yo, we heard some shit, blah, blah, blah. I was like, it's all good, bro. We're good. She had an issue at work today. I'm sure man boss, blame the man. And all the other women was like, oh, okay. Well, we're going to keep our eye on her. But yeah, it can get incendiary in a heartbeat, bro. Even if you're out like at a bar, I don't know if you've ever experienced this. Probably not. You probably, these are probably not the unsavory characteristics that you're talking about. But I've had women tell me to go fight a guy because they brushed up against her and all this kind of stuff when nothing ever happened. They wanted that excitement. You know what I mean? And I've had I knew a couple of bartenders and bouncers, and they said, "Yo, no, that didn't happen, bro. Just, that I'm just letting you know you're about to stick your neck into something for no reason other than this bitch is crazy." And I'm like, yeah, but wait till I get her home. Then the crazy is positive, right? But that's the other thing too, is men need a little bit of a dick discipline and not try to stick their dick in everything that's crazy or look like a crocodile, right, Jess? Because a lot of these women are crazy out there. Yeah, if you have any thoughts on that, crazy crocodile bitches, because I've had a few.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, women, they think that they have no accountability. They think that they won't be hurt if they start any shit. They think that my situation's different because Sulk, he wants to fight. He will fight. He'll fight a motherfucker any day. Like, he's like, all right, who are we fighting here? I'm ready. Yeah. And me, I'm like, no. Like, let's have a good time. That kind of thing.
But that's the way it should be, though. That's the way it should be. Yeah.
So with that, but I have seen that with my friends, and I've definitely seen that for sure. Or women I used to hang out with, and just they're just, they think that they're tougher than they are, and they don't realize a man can break your windpipe very easily.
Well, and that's the truth too. That's 100% true. Women,
get real.
They watch too many movies. They don't realize how strong men really are in relationship to themselves. And I always say this: women are an F1 car, and men are dump trucks. Okay, they're built for two different things. All right, you don't make the F1 car try to haul gravel, and you don't race a dump truck on a lap. You know what I'm saying? So they're both designed specifically for very different things. Let's keep them in that place.
Well, women have, the propagandist told them
100%.
They can be anything. They are just as equal as men. And it's like, sure, we're equal to men, but equal differently. We have different things. I'm not equal to John in the sense of strength, but he's not equal to me in the sense of he can't mother our children.
Imprint culture is what women are fantastic at.
Oh gosh, yeah. So that is something I hate, where it's like, we need to acknowledge that there are just differences in men and women, and that's a good thing. That's all. I love women. I love how we're.
Oh no, I adore women as well. Yeah, and I think everybody on this panel adores women. I just think, I tell people this all the time. I say, when you're thinking that there's only two people in the equation, men and women, there's not. There's a third, and it's invisible. It's called the state. And the state has programmed women, much like the snake in the Garden of Eden, to eat that apple, to get out of sorts, so that the man and the woman have to suffer the consequences of eating that apple. And
and just like Adam, the men are letting the women do it. I'm sorry, but I blame y'all. You guys should have never let us get out of line like this.
I agree. I think that the burden always rests on the men. The responsibility, men don't like to hear it, but it is always the responsibility of men. Because if you have all the responsibility, that means you can change the environment, that you're capable to change it. You have the agency to change, you have the responsibility to change, and all you have to do is have the discipline to change. And that's very, very important. But we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon. We're coming up to the top of the 2 hours. This just flew by. James, what are some of your thoughts as we're going to start to roll out of here?
We need to discipline women more. Give them the occasional slap.
Of course. Well, it's that Sean Connery thing. I think that women would be.
But did you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember we used to watch in the movies, right?
Yeah.
And it used to be the most moment of peak passion was when the geezer used to give her a backhander. Yeah. And then they would go immediately into a passionate embrace.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember.
You remember those old film noir movies? Yeah. It's like we need to get back to that. That's what I think. Discipline. Discipline is the key in a relationship. Knowing your roles.
Yeah, I think that is 100% true, and I think that it's important to be functional in the roles. You don't want the overlap, because that's going to dilute the potency and the effectiveness or efficacy of the relationship going forward. And I think the goal is to raise fantastic children, and so you want to be able to do that. You're going to have the masculine, you're going to want to have the feminine on that as well. FOMO, what are some of your final thoughts as we roll out of here? We covered a ton of stuff today. We all the way from online dating to COVID to crazy men, crazy women. What are some of your final thoughts, FOMO?
I agree. I agree with like I've never been abused by a man ever, like ever. I've never been hit. There's been one time where I was like held down. And I needed it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it was just like that's what you should go for.
Right.
Stuff like that. Um, yeah, no, this is all. And like we were talking submit. Like I felt more free the minute I said submit. You know what I mean? Because it's like because yeah, I'm a woman. I don't want accountability and responsibility anyway. So of course, like like uh, then it's all on you, buddy. It's not, it's not me. But and yeah, the online dating stuff and there's something that what Jess was talking to with these people, these guys, these incels will be like, well, my chin's not good enough, so I'll never get a woman or something like that. It's like, how do you get that crazy? Like that they get that crazy about shit where it's like I've said before, if I focus on stuff like I would have never been able to be a trophy wife because I didn't have tits.
Right.
But guess what? It worked out for me. You can still be a trophy with like, but all these rules that people make and all these women are like went after that stuff. It's like you don't have to follow their rules. That's another thing.
I 100% agree with you on that
That's
one.
it.
And I think that it's very, very important for people not to give themselves excuses not to try. And I think that's one of the excuses that men give themselves is like, well, I'm kind of fat or I don't have a square jaw, so I shouldn't approach this woman. It's like, no, you need to change your life, bro. It's not, don't stay in impotency. Don't stay in mediocrity. Change your life and go be excited. Go kick some ass.
Oh yeah, and I was gonna try. I agree with Big B if he's still here because obviously Mr. Forrest Mommy got the gut, but he's the strongest man I ever seen in the world. He can build anything, like he's just like whatever. But he's just gonna have a buck. He's 58 years old.
It happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But if you can
avoid, feed him good.
Yeah.
I feed him good. He doesn't even drink. It's just all from being fed good.
Fed, he's corn-fed motherfucker. That's what we love around here. Shout out to Big B Trucker too. He's a fantastic guy. Jess, we talked about a lot of stuff today. What are some final thoughts as I bring up the Sulk stream as well? Go give the Sulk stream is the Incredible Sulk over there on Rumble. Give him a follow. He's a great guy. The other half of the Sulk, the Cult of Sulk, with Jess and John. So we'll go give him a follow. I'm going to drop his link in the chat. What are some of your thoughts, Jess? We covered a ton of shit today.
You can be attractive to a man. You don't need to get like a BBL and shit like that. Like what, FOMO was saying. Like, I don't have an ass.
Yeah.
I don't really have tits. But you know what? I got someone paying all my bills and taking care of me and giving me my best life. And, but, I was open and willing to look at myself, see what was wrong with myself, and act accordingly. And I think a lot of people just can't or won't do that. Like they just think that, oh, you should just accept me as is. And like, you know what? No, you have a lot of shit wrong with you. So
yeah, it's still possible, isn't it? It's still possible to get that dream that you wanted, but you're just gonna have to put a little bit of work in or change yourself. And I think that's really what it's all about, is putting that mirror up to your face and recognizing the things that you need to basically mature and not stay in a state of arrested development. I think that's very, very important. Go give Sulk a follow if you guys would. The Incredible Sulk. He's also I already forgot what is his X.
His X is Sulk Opath. So
that's right.
And then on Rumble he's the Incredible Sulk, and it's all one word.
All one word. Yeah. So go give him a follow. I dropped that in the chat. He's a great guy.
You.
Also, Jess, did this get you excited about streaming again?
It did. I was actually so excited when FOMO texted me last night, and then all day today I was like, oh wow, this is like getting me pumped up. I'm probably gonna start thinking about streaming again. I streamed a lot about trans agenda, but I think more so now I'm gonna go towards like birth, motherhood, that kind of stuff, because that's like where my autist brain is leading me.
Yeah.
So, and I know a lot about. So.
Well, you're more than welcome to come back anytime. We'd love to have you. It was actually an absolute delight and fun to have another female perspective on the panel. We totally enjoyed it.
Thanks for having me.
And do you have anything that people should follow you? Do you have like
you can follow me on Twitter or X at Femoid Fairy.
Okay.
If you want to, no big deal. I'd rather you go and put your energy towards following Sulk and the Sulk stream, please.
Okay, fantastic.
Please,
and we'll get you back on it because you're fantastic. FOMO, is there anything people should follow you on? The Forest Mommy, obviously on X. Everybody should go follow her. She's fantastic. She's making like hundreds of thousands of dollars every month from all of that money on X. Is there anything else that people should follow you on, Forest Mommy?
No, just on Twitter. That's the best spot.
Yeah, I love Forest Mommy. She's like, y'all know me. You know where to find me. Just go fucking do it. Just go do it. James, do you have any more final thoughts? Also, everybody go follow James Domenico Grabbin on X, James Domenico Grabbin 81 on YouTube. He does fantastic 5-minute videos. Sometimes they're only 10 seconds long where he tells people they're idiots, and I especially love those. James, you want to give us any outro here? Any final thoughts to send us on our way?
Just be more controversial. That's what I say. And then go watch England. You know what I'm saying? We've got to watch England. I want you to all go out there, support England. As we take down Norway on our way to winning the World Cup.
Okay, that's great. So James, you got England beating Norway. Jess, do you have England or Norway on the England-Norway thing?
I'll go with
the big
fallen Muslim states. So I'll just go with England since James is here.
Let's go. And then FOMO, who do you have? Do you have the big Viking guy from Norway, or are you going to go with England?
I'm going with England, and I'm also going with James over Hobo.
Oh,
yes!
Shit.
Come on!
Oh shit! The shit star. All right, people. I'm gonna go with England too. I think it's a clean sweep. We're gonna get England to kick some ass. I fucking love it. We've got FOMO on the very end, stirring some of the pot. Okay, everybody, have a great weekend. We're out of here, guys. Go kick some ass. Knuckles to you guys. Hell yeah, let's go.